mask in the hot tub? Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know it was him when he had it on? Just
I knew it was. I saw Chooch with it on too.
Over to the right.
So Durbin has kind of been your, you've kind of done a lot of things with him over the last 2 or 3 years. How valuable has he been for you? And when he first came into state training as a competitor for that fifth starter spot, did you think that he could develop into the type of reliever he's become for you?
Actually, when we first got him, and he was competing for the fifth spot in the rotation, and like in spring training went along, we decided we knew that he had pitched long before, long relief in the bullpen, and he had never pitched like say like in the 7th or 8th inning and stuff like that. And once the season started and we started getting into some tough spots, and we started putting him in different roles, and he started coming through good, and it was kind of like, you know, he was the one that we had to put in those roles at that time, and he definitely did a tremendous job for us. And in the last 2 or 3 years, he's been really good. I mean, he's been really good for us. He's been very serviceable. He's did exactly what we ever asked him to do. He never complains. He's a big reason why that we win games.
And straight back, just to the right.
Do you think there might have been something to Roy Oswald, the extra time he had off, and he had just that little inning stint in the bullpen in the last game? He said he was, as the later innings went on, he felt like he could have gone a little more. Do you think maybe his first few innings were a product of that time off?
I felt like that could have had something to do with it, but at the same time, I felt like that. You got to remember, to me, what I saw was he gave up 2 home runs, and Phillips got 3 hits off of him. I mean that, like when you go out there and pitch, and he's not going to throw shutouts all the time. I mean that's why we got an offense, and that's why we're supposed to score runs, and that's why you talk about, how good offense team we got, and as good as Roy, the 2 Roys are, and Hamels and Blanton and Kendrick in our rotation. I mean they're not going to shut everybody out, and there's going to be nights when they take their lumps. And the other night he didn't really take his lumps, but at the same time, he was getting hit enough for them to build up some runs on him. And that's what I saw. I saw his stuff was good. I felt like I've seen times his command was better, and that he didn't. You know what? He didn't really get into a real good flow of the game where he could use his changeup and really start mixing his pitches up. I think he mostly was throwing fastballs. I think the counts that he got into, like he felt more comfortable challenging with throwing fastballs.